Hey, welcome to Judgment Day. We've got a bunch of cool games to talk about today, including a classic fighting game that's making its first appearance on the PlayStation 2. Today on the show, we take a look at Virtua Fighter 4 from Sega for the PlayStation 2. We hit the field in All-Star Baseball 2003 for the Xbox. We hit the court in NBA 2K2 for the GameCube. And we step into the ring with the Thrustmaster Fighting Arena. Okay, the first game we're going to talk about is Virtua Fighter 4 from Sega for the PlayStation 2. What'd you think?
Well, the very first Virtua Fighter was like the very first 3D action fighting game, which was really cool for the time. I mean, no one had ever seen anything like that before. But for me, you know, fighting games have come a long way since the original Virtua Fighter.
Right.
And, you know, this game is a lot like all the Virtua Fighter games from the past.
So you felt it was too similar to what you've played before in the Virtua Fighter series?
Well, I mean, Virtua Fighter fighting games have always been a little different from all the other fighting games anyway. It's been a little more arcadey style,
well,
you know, but I would like to see the motion capture and the animations get a little more realistic.
I had no problem with the motion capture animations. I think that that's the high point of Virtua Fighter. Not just a button mashing experience. You don't have a button for every limb like you have in Tekken. You've got a punch button and a kick button and a block button. And mastery of the game really comes with understanding when to hit and when to block.
But it's completely unrealistic animations. You know, everything's very like.
It's fast strikes.
It doesn't look real at all.
Virtua Fighter 4 is a little bit different than the last Virtua Fighter game because in VF3 they had all kinds of sloped backgrounds and the fighters would be fighting on stairs or little hills or something like that. But the player that got to the top of the hill was always the winner. So they decided to sort of level out the playing field, and they've gone sort of back to the VF2 kind of gameplay.
To me, overall, the graphics look blocky. I mean, you know, the overall absolutely look blocky.
They don't look blocky.
When compared to Tekken Tag Tournament, you put them side by side, there's no comparison.
I think they compare very well together. No. I think that the characters look really good in this game. I love the new character, Lai Fei has these long flowing robes.
Talking about the actual graphics as a whole,
the characters look great.
It looks blocky.
I disagree.
And the lines are not smooth at all.
I don't know what you find in fault here. I think it doesn't look like Dead or Alive 3.
You can't disagree because I'm right.
No, you're not right.
You can't disagree.
Go!
Compare the backgrounds. The
backgrounds are incredible in Virtua Fighter 4. You've got great lighting.
Have you played video games before?
I have played them.
Look at the background in Virtua Fighter 4, and then look at the ones in Tekken. They're completely different.
Well, they're different, but they're comparable, and I think Virtua Fighter 4's backgrounds
the quality is different.
I think they're fantastic.
They're cool looking. I'm just telling you that they're not as good as the games that came out 2 years ago.
I disagree. I completely disagree with you.
What about the artificial intelligence mode?
Yeah, the AI system. This is really cool. Sega's put in a whole new thing. It's sort of it's a takeoff on all those sort of Tamagotchi virtual pet kind of things. Only this time, your pet is a virtual fighter.
A deadly fighter.
Yes, he is. You train him different moves and different techniques, and you throw everything you can at him.
And it learns.
And he learns your moves. And then all of a sudden you realize you built this monster. You built this really tough fighting character. You can save it to a memory card and go to your friend's place and play his AI character, and you can sit back and watch and see how well you've trained your fighters. It's a great idea.
It makes you a more well-balanced fighter, and I thought that was really cool in this game. I like to see all fighting games have something like this.
I loved playing Virtua Fighter 4. I think it's great to see it on PlayStation 2.
You also love the 80s hard rock music.
80s rock music is it's part of the charm of Virtua Fighter, and it's all fine with me. 9 out of 10. Completely recommend this game if you like fighting games in any way.
I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8, okay. On the positive side, we love the depth of Virtua Fighter 4. We think that fans of the series are really going to love this new version, and we think that the pace of the game is fantastic.
We felt that some of the graphics didn't stack up to the other fighting games that are currently available on the market, and although it'll probably hit the spot with the Virtua Fighter fans out there, it's not as revolutionary as the other Virtua Fighter games have been in the past.
Okay, so since we're in these Chinese gardens, let's talk about All-Star Baseball 2003 for the Xbox.
How does that tie into baseball?
Work with me here, man. Come on.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Hey, yeah. First of all, this franchise gets major kudo points from me because Derek Jeter is the cover boy.
So
And
right away, we've got 2 points on the score
right away,
there.
Jeter hit .333 against left-handers and had a .397 on-base percentage.
From all the baseball games that I've been playing over the last few years, I think All-Star Baseball really sort of blends the arcadey action stuff that players want with the simulation stuff that players want. This game has got tons of modes, tons of options, tons of features. It's got a very elegant sort of interface and a great sort of opening presentation.
the stadiums in this game are represented perfectly. I mean, every little detail of the stadium is there. It's really cool. But, you know, the players' faces, when they go up to bat,
They're not exact.
Not exact.
They're not right on the money.
Not right on the money.
They're not perfect representations.
Perfect representations. They're not very good at all.
It looks like he's thrown his last pitch.
There was a lot of little things that I think baseball fanatics like myself would kind of pick apart in the game. The numbers on the backs of the jerseys are too low. Jason Giambi, you see him with the Yankees hat on, but he's got his goatee. You can't have facial hair on the Yankees.
This guy was jumping up and down, freaking out. You can't have facial hair.
Okay,
All right.
maybe I'm nitpicking.
Yeah,
I'm nitpicking.
I would say.
I like the whole pitching and batting in this. I thought it's good. Once you pick the pitch you want to do, it kind of hides the pitch, and then you can still move the controller around, and if you move it out of the strike zone, the controller starts to shake. The problem with that...
You can actually hear the controller shaking on the Xbox because the motor's so loud. So every time he was going to throw a ball, I could hear his controller shaking and I wouldn't strike. I wouldn't swing at it. So
Be quiet. Be quiet. I'm trying to throw the ball.
How about the cool batting cursor? You've got a typical sort of batting cursor over the plate, and it sort of feels like every other baseball game, but then you realize that you can move your right thumbstick and you can position the cursor in sort of 3D space so you can get a sense of exactly how you're going to hit the ball.
So if you want to hit
off
it down
the
on
bat.
the ground
It's
or
incredible.
up in the air.
Sometimes it's difficult to see where the ball is.
Well, it's difficult to see the ball, period.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I did like all the fast action replays that happen as soon as a really cool play happens. That stuff is great. I also appreciated the fact that there's computer-driven errors in the game, and your AI will fumble the ball and overthrow passes and things like that.
And you know, one of the other details is, and I've never seen this in a video game, is when you swing and you break the bat.
Oh, the breaking the bat is so cool.
You actually see the piece of the bat fly out.
And the sound is perfect, too.
He littered the infield with that broken bat.
But I mean, the killer thing in this game to do is you take your pitcher and you can beam people right in the face and they drop down on the floor. Some of them even rush the pitcher's mound, which is cool. If you're just playing an exhibition type, like one game exhibition, it's all about putting all your bad pitchers in first and then just get them to hit other guys and get them out of the game.
You can't recommend that. That's so not baseball.
Well, you don't want to do that in season mode.
That's not sportsmanlike at all. What are you doing?
But
You're
you don't want to do
encouraging
that.
them.
You don't want to do that in season
isn't
mode.
rollerball.
That'll screw up your season if you do that in season mode. I'm just playing. If you're playing one game, it's fun.
You still got Virtua Fighter on the brain.
Who can injure
terrible.
other players?
So, what did you give All-Star Baseball 2003?
I give it an 8 overall.
I gave it an 8.5. I think that the graphics could be a little bit better, especially on the Xbox version, but it's still a very fun game and a very balanced interpretation of baseball.
Lots of extras.
On the positive side, we like most of the graphics and animations in the game, especially the motion capture stuff looks fantastic. We enjoyed the depth of the game and all the special features like the franchise mode and the trivia game.
Although we did like all the depth and modes in the game, it sometimes made navigating the menu screens a little difficult. And finally, we thought that some of the camera angles could have been improved because it's sometimes hard to pick up exactly where the ball is.
Coming up after the break, we take a look at a new Star Wars game for your PC.
Arena. Ready, go team.
Tonight we'll see if our current champion can hold their own against the challengers.
In each match, there are 5 possible points to be won.
This guy is all over the place.
Better defuse that bomb or else we're gonna have,
A big mess.
Ouch! That was a great fight.
You know, it's really hard to believe, but we're actually playing first-person shooter games on our Game Boy Advance. I'm playing Ecks versus Sever. It's the third first-person shooter game that's available for this system, and it's the best one. The twist in this game is the storyline, and it's all about these two deadly characters, Ecks and Sever. Now, Ecks is an FBI agent who had his family murdered, and he's on a big revenge hunt. And Sever is also out for revenge, and she's become an assassin. And you actually can see Sever, if you're playing Ecks, you can see Sever on some of the missions, and you actually have to try to stop her. And she's deadly. I mean, she'll throw grenades at you without even thinking about it. Now, there's 12 very cool solo player missions in the game, but the best part about this thing is you can connect it with up to 3 of your friends and have multiplayer deathmatch mode on your Game Boy Advance. How cool is that? So you can actually go first-person shooter killing on a bus. The game's developed by a company called Crawfish Interactive, and they've developed a very, very fine-tuned 3D engine for this Game Boy Advance game. And it's actually quite remarkable when you're traveling through these well-textured and well-defined environments. You've got sliding doors, you can hop into elevators, you can go upstairs. There's a bunch of different weapons that you can pick up. My favorite is the jackhammer gun. With one shot, you're killing bad guys, no problem. But there's also a very cool sniper rifle. Now, the sniper rifle is unbelievable. I can't believe they have a sniper rifle on a Game Boy Advance game. Now, you have to make some concessions. This is not a 3D system. It's a 2D sprite-based system. So everything looks a little bit blocky and sort of ancient. But it's still very, very playable. Control is precise. You can maneuver around the environments nice and easily with the 2 top shoulder buttons there. You've got strafe left and right. It's a little bit sensitive, so when you're pressing that right strafe or that left strafe, you can pop out from behind a wall or something a little bit too quickly. But you can still navigate quite well, and you can still aim your weapon quite well. Take the risk of playing a first-person shooter on your GBA. You won't be disappointed. It's called Ecks vs. Sever. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, buddy, we're going to talk about Star Wars Starfighter for the PC. Now, this game's already been out for the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox, and it was very popular and successful on both those platforms. But now PC players are able to play the same game on their systems.
Don't you hate when they do that?
When they keep porting the same game over and over again?
If you're going to do a port a year or 2 years later, give me 10 extra levels, give me 10 more spaceships or some, you know, that's the problem, is it's really strictly a port.
Whoa! Look out! What was that?
Cannon fire from the surface of the planet. One shot and...
Heads up, Reese. Our Vita wing of Scarabs headed your way.
see what you can do, Flyboy.
The game overall, though, even though it is arcade-style action game, is kind of short for PC players. I mean, you know, I think your average player is going to be able to finish this thing in a couple of sittings.
Really, this game is to sort of satisfy all the Star Wars completists that are out there that want to have every single Star Wars game that's ever been made. This is a very fast-action arcade game that's a lot easier to get into than some of the other sort of space combat sims that you've played before. But because of that, the game doesn't have the depth or staying power that an X-Wing versus TIE Fighter might have in your collection.
The graphics are amazing. Some of the canals and the green grass is green, and that's always a good thing.
The grass is green in this game.
That's right.
It's always greener on the PC as well.
Some of the missions are kind of confusing, I thought.
Well, I think what makes them confusing is the navigation system that's in the game. It is a little bit too simplified. It's made for console players, and it isn't easy to sort of understand exactly where to go. There's no map in the game. You get arrows that tell you which direction to go in, but a lot of times, a lot of the things that you're hunting down are just small little ships or things that get lost in the black of space, especially if you're trying to get some of the hidden objectives, some of the little secrets that are in the game. They don't light up with targeting all the time, so sometimes you have to go chase things down that you can't even see. I know that the action of just shooting bad guys gets a bit repetitive, but now you do have escort missions, you have defend the base kind of missions, you have attack big capital ship type missions, and they take place in space, they take place on land. It is a very fun game, but you're right, it is a port, and it is just not as deep as PC gamers are used to.
Scanner's picking up recovery freighter.
One thing I really like about Starfighter is you get to fly 3 different kinds of ships. You get the Naboo Starfighter, the big gold thing. There's also the bomber ship, which Nim, the space pirate, flies, which has these really cool bombs that shoot out of your ship and land on the ground. There's also another ship that lets you tag the enemies, and then your laser fire is sort of guided after that, so it's a lot easier to blow apart those little pesky droid ships and stuff.
I think most PC users will find that as a negative, though, because a lot of these in-depth games, there's tons and tons of ships you can choose from, and this one really only has 3, but again, it is an arcade shooter,
right.
So the fact that you can have 3 is, I guess, good.
One major complaint that I have about the game is that there are no multiplayer options at all. On the PlayStation 2, you had to unlock them. On the Xbox, they had some good multiplayer, and on the PC, there is no multiplayer at all.
The one platform where there should have been
Absolutely. You should have been able to link up and play against other people. That would have been incredible. That would have added so much depth to this game, but it doesn't have it at all, and that's a major disappointment. Even still, this was a lot of fun. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
And I give it a 7 also.
On the positive side, we were really impressed with the graphics of the game. We thought the controls in the game were very simple and very intuitive. We love the whole Star Wars presentation out there, and Star Wars fans are going to love sort of adding to their collection of space games with this one.
On the downside, the game was a little quick to play through for PC users. It didn't have a multiplayer mode, which we thought was a big disappointment for PC. And we thought the missions got a little repetitive over a period of time. You ever go in the arcades and see those big, giant arena light things where you can go in and play fighting games by actually kicking and punching the thing? Well, these are finally coming to the home.
That's right. We're talking about the Thrustmaster Fighting Arena, and this is a little kit that you can assemble that you can put on your floor and basically give you that sensation of being inside of a VR device that incorporates all of your hand gestures and movements into on-screen fighting moves.
Oh, wait. There's nothing more funny than watching this guy trying to do fighting moves, and he's up here like this. This is definitely the kind of device that you want to keep behind closed doors.
Or the converse of that is you want to invite all your friends over and you want to have this thing set up and then you want to take turns laughing at each other, because it really is, it's silly.
I did most of the laughing.
It's very responsive, which is very surprising. I mean, you think that there's going to be a little bit of a hesitation to each of the moves, and you're throwing things out, and you figure that, it's going to lock up a little bit. But it actually works as quickly as you think to move your hand, and it will correlate to action on screen. And I was surprised by that.
We wanted to see what this thing did with, like, a driving game.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're talking. So we'd throw in Gran Turismo 3, and this is Vic. You got his hand out. I'm like, what do you got your hand out here for? Well, this is the gas button.
It's not exactly going to make you a champion fighter. You're not going to be any better at your video games using this thing.
It is easy to set up and put down.
Yeah, it'll take you 5 minutes to
set up.
Yeah.
That's easy. So you could, take it away and put it in your little closet and take it out and set up real quick.
Imagine inviting a girlfriend over and setting up your ultimate fighting mat. I mean
it's a great device, but it's really a novelty type device. I don't know if I'd recommend it because you're not going to play with it all the time.
No, and I can't recommend it either. On the positive side, the Fighting Arena is quick and easy to set up. It does what it says it's going to do, and it's a lot of fun.
On the negative side, you look like a complete dork actually using the device. For a novelty type item, it is a bit expensive, and I think after the first 5 or 10 minutes, the excitement kind of wears off. After a quick dip in the koi pond, we'll be right back with NBA 2K2 for the GameCube.
Dave. I play bass for Edema, and I like video games.
Today on Buried Treasure, we're going to talk about one of the coolest Sega Saturn games that was ever developed. It's called Panzer Dragoon Saga, and if you've never seen this game, you owe it to yourself to go search it out. Now, Panzer Dragoon Saga is an RPG that's based on the Panzer Dragoon world that was created right at the beginning of the Sega Saturn's launch. It was an old sort of on-the-rails dragon-riding shooting game, and this game incorporates some of that old sort of shooting-style gameplay into a much larger, full-fledged story. The graphics for this game are stunning. I mean, you've got beautiful creatures, beautiful vistas, there's lots of great weapon effects. It's on par with some of the stuff that Square created for Final Fantasy VII for the PlayStation 1. It's a great playing game, too. It really takes into account that this may be the first RPG that a lot of players have picked up. There isn't lots and lots of inventory scrolling that you have to do. It's very easy to pick up and play. There's lots of great action combat bits in there. But the big draw here, of course, is that you can hop on a dragon and fly around and explore and see all kinds of really creepy looking creatures and beautiful ships that you have to take out of the sky. It really could be equated to the Star Wars of RPGs, and we're all hoping that Sega revisits Panzer Dragoon for one of these new super systems. I'd love to see Panzer Dragoon again on the Xbox or the PlayStation 2. This is a great game. It's called Panzer Dragoon Saga for the Sega Saturn. You can pick it up at a bargain, I'm sure, and it's well worth taking a look for. Okay, we're back at the koi pond, and we're going to talk about NBA 2K2 for the Nintendo GameCube. Now, what do you think, buddy?
Well, I mean, here you go. You got a great basketball game. You know, the players' faces didn't really look like the real players, though, did they?
GameCube owners are going to expect better graphics than this, and I think that Visual Concepts ran into a little bit of a snag here because they had to port the game over from the Dreamcast. The player models and the faces in NBA Courtside are much sharper, much more distinctive than the same kind of players that we're seeing in this game.
Well, I think there's one thing we need to say right off the top here, though, is that I took you to school on this game.
He played the Lakers, and I was the 76ers, and even though Iverson is the cover boy for this game, I just couldn't get a game going as the 76ers. It was just too tough.
He's the basketball guy, I'm the baseball guy, and I worked him.
Yeah, you
took him to school.
All right.
To the hole.
Okay, that's enough.
All right.
Okay.
Ooh, they should put on quite a show tonight. Walker is looking for the ball. Takes the shot. Fisher hits one from far beyond. That's the back. 3-point arc. He shot that one a little early, Bobby, but he was open and he knocked it down. Not a bad decision if you make the shot.
If you're a basketball nut and you love all kinds of different ways to play your game, you're going to really enjoy this game. You've got a great street court game in the middle of all the regular NBA court action stuff. I mean, you can go to Rucker Park and Venice Beach and Mosswood and play games on all of those.
You know, you can choose different camera angles. They do have the street mode, which is nice.
Visual Concepts has been refining the offensive play in the NBA 2K series for a long time, particularly when you're doing the pivot moves and you do those little jump hooks.
The biggest deal with this game, though, is that it's too hard to steal. I mean, you know, you can be trying to get in there all day long, and you get maybe one steal an entire game. I mean, come on.
Iverson gets the bucket and the foul. Great shot.
It's not the same kind of game as NBA Courtside where every player could just go coast to coast and drive to the hole and dunk every time. I mean, this game you actually have AI defenders that will put up, some resistance to you. But the flip of that is that there almost seems to be a sort of an invisible force field wall around each of the players, and they sort of bounce off, and it feels almost a little too constricting. But I do love the play-by-play.
That's the best play-by-play, I think, in any basketball game out there.
Carter nailed that one, even though he had to change his shot. A perfectly executed crossover leaves the D out of the picture.
I also really like the fast action replays. The replay modes are fantastic. Most sports games, I just press the button to skip all the replay stuff, but in this game, I sat back and enjoyed it. I really like that stuff.
Especially when I was dunking on you.
Well, except when he was dunking on me. Then I would skip
skip it.
Yeah, then I was getting right back to the game.
That's right. So, I mean, what do you give it overall?
Overall, I think this is a great game. I think it's the best basketball game you can get for the Nintendo GameCube. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I can't wait to see the 2K3 version of this game next year.
I give it a 7.5. I can't wait to see the 2K8.
2K8 is going to be incredible.
That'll be.
I'm holding my breath till then. On the positive side, we were very impressed with the offensive depth of the gameplay. We love the special features in the game, like the street court mode. We thought the commentary was excellent, and we like the overall pace and feel of the game.
On the downside, we didn't think the players' faces were that accurately represented. Thought it was way too hard to steal. And we didn't feel that it was as polished as other visual concept sports games.
Okay, we've come to the end of the show, and it's time for Tommy and I to take off because I want to play some more Virtua Fighter. I have to convince him that VF4 is a lot better than he thinks it is.
You can play VF4, and you can hook up your little Thrustmaster device and go like this, and I'll sit back and laugh at you.
All right, you're on. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Come on.
Bye.
Today on the show, we took a look at Virtua Fighter 4 from Sega for the PlayStation 2. We thought the game featured great depth, but it's probably not as revolutionary as some of the earlier Virtua Fighter games have been. On the Xbox, we looked at All-Star Baseball 2003 from Acclaim. This baseball game delivers a great mix of arcade and sim-style elements, but we did find some camera control problems. On the PC, we looked at Star Wars Starfighter. Now, this is great because, well, it's Star Wars, but you know what? It doesn't have a multiplayer game, and that was a big problem. On the GameCube, we took a look at Sega's NBA 2K2. Now, this game is packed with all kinds of great basketball features, but it's way too hard to steal. In our hardware segment, we looked at the Thrustmaster Fighting Arena. Now, I gotta admit, this device is a lot of fun, but it really won't make you a better fighter. In my handheld review, I looked at Ecks vs. Sever from BAM Entertainment for the Game Boy Advance. Now, this is a first-person shooter game with great gameplay and much better graphics than you would think. Okay, so the deal is, because the missions are so split up,